DA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Now Lawrence on first down. And his first look is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So a nice catch right there. And this receiving core, without their number 1 wideout, keep that in mind. He's inactive this week, though it shouldn't be a long-term absence.
And I would think, partner, that this is where an offensive coordinator believes he can solve the problem by spreading the ball around. Because anytime you lose your number 1 guy, it's obviously a blow to your offense. But there's also an opportunity to say, hey, they can't focus on trying to stop one guy. Keep spreading it around. The last part, each one of those receivers, they believe they're the number 1 guy, and they're ready to step up.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Let's go, D.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap. Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. This is Miller, complete. They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did it in a big way there.
on second down now. It's Ellis down to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or two short. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Bass is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game, Charles, much talked about coming in. And you think there's a real chance this is a Super Bowl preview?
I do, because as things stand, and I'll give you a little bit of a caveat here, that maybe things will shake out a little bit if someone loses along the way. But here we are right now. These are your two current #1 seeds, and I think they're both good enough to make it to the big game.
The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Joe Tryon there to make the tackle. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Lawrence going to get this to Etienne. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, this offense will definitely utilize him as a weapon out of the backfield because he was close to 100 yards receiving a week ago. So they will try to get him the football in space as they did right there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. James Robinson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from taking the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Handoff for Etienne, pushing through the contact. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Etienne with it. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Lawrence will throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there, with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa to a hit in the the ball is out.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Tua sets up to pass it. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And not the result they were hoping for there, at least in terms of the kick team, as that'll get out of bounds at just the 35-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, I think the hope is, you know, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On third down, Lawrence. He's going to air one out. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And the Jags grab it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is up to 15 now. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. Taking a shot here for Marshall. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He finds his man complete. That's Ellis. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second and 8 coming from the 19. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. He finds his man complete. It's Blake. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now Tua. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. The kick by Bass is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So this a 2-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the 3rd quarter. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people would think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give right side. Yancey. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Tua now on first down. Tua hit, and the ball is out. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Throwing on second and long. Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Tua going to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now ETN to start the drive. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
We go! 60 Pittsburgh! You don't get tired of seeing me. Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Hawkins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll keep it on the ground. Yancey down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On third down, Yancey. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And this is back to a 5-point game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now Lawrence to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Dean. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Quick pass out to Miller. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. From the gun, it's Tua. Going up top for Miller. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Jagsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another tote for Etienne. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And Sermon is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
On 2nd down, it's Ellis, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on 3rd down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Etienne. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A 1st down and more, Etienne. And finally, wrestled down at the 11. 78 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now Etienne. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to pass. Tua. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Back to throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. This is Chenault on the receiving end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. Robinson a 1st down and then some. 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Jaguars. James Robinson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jags could be on their way to 7-1 as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And, of course, this win a big one. They can hang their hat on this victory on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs.
And you know how difficult it is for the team that wears the crown because they're going to get everyone's best shot. So let's face it, they circled this game. We're going to go in there and take down the defending Super Bowl champs. This is our opportunity. They're not going to walk out of here with a trophy today, but they will walk out with respect around the league. And to them, that's vitally important.
So for the Jaguars, they moved to 7-1 on the year with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.